You're listening to Radio Lewes, where the music matters, and welcome to another reissue of the King Mob Show. We've binged on telly, we've been into space. Now back to something a little bit more earthbound, and another medium for wasting time and stopping yourself going mental. This is King Mob at the Movies.
Radio Lewes. Local webcasting for a worldwide audience.
Hi everybody. This is the King Mob Radio Show, broadcasting on Radio Lewes, and today, King Mob at the Movies. There you go. That's from a Tarantino movie. That movie was called Death Proof. The track is by Jack Nietzsche and is called... What the hell is it called? It's called The Last Race. Anyway, Tarantino knows a thing or two about movies, and he certainly knows a thing or two about music. I don't think he's ever used a track by Billy Fury, but an English filmmaker made a movie on Charlie Richardson, the gangster, and he used this great song from the 60s by Billy Fury, and it's called Wondrous Place.
I found a place full of charms, a magic world in my baby's arms. Her soft embrace like satin and lace, a wondrous place. What a spot in a storm, to cuddle up and stay nice and warm, away from harm in my baby's arms. A wondrous place. Man, I'm nowhere when I'm anywhere else, but I don't care. Everything's right when she holds me tight, her tender hands on my face. I'm in heaven in her embrace. A wanna stay and never go away. A wondrous place. A wondrous place. Man, I'm nowhere when I'm anywhere else. But I don't care. Everything's right when she holds me tight. Her tender hands on my face. I'm in heaven in her embrace. I wanna stay and never go away. A wondrous place.
Oh, there's Billy Curing. Ah, what a guy. This track is from a wacky French movie called Delicatessen, which was a film about cannibals, but it was played as a comedy. Boy, French people. Delicatessen. so we bid a fond farewell to those French cannibals doing whatever French cannibals do in French horror films that are comedies. And we're gonna leave them way behind now. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye. It's been nice. Moving right along to bad movies. Now, Stanley Kubrick is a world-class director, as everybody knows, was one of the greatest directors of all time. But he did occasionally make a clinker. And Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman was his last movie, and it really does not work. But even in a bad movie, you can have a great track. And here's one right now.
Someone so much you thought your little heart was gonna break in two. I didn't think so. You ever try with all your heart and soul to get your lover back to you? I wanna hope so. You ever pray with all your heart and soul just to watch her walk away? Yeah. Baby, the bad, bad thing. Baby, the bad, bad thing. Baby, the bad, bad thing. I feel like crying. Like crying. You ever toss and turn your line awake and thinking about the one you love? I don't think so. You ever close your eyes and make it believe you're holding the one you're dreaming of? Well, if you say so, it hurts so bad when you finally know just how low, 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 low she'll go. Baby, the bad, bad thing. Baby, the bad, bad thing. Baby, did a bad, bad thing, and I feel like crying. I feel like crying. Feel like crying. Feel like crying. Feel like crying.
Well, there's the great Chris Isaac helping Stanley Kubrick out because he needed the help. Movies. Some of them are in your imagination. Some of them are actually on the screen. I love this track I'm going to play next. It's an instrumental. It's called Underwater Chase. And it's written by a guy called Al Caiola. And he did it for a lounge album. But calling it Underwater Chase makes me think that he was hoping one day someone would use it in a movie. But they never did. I love it. The underwater chase, scuba divers, mini submarines, harpoons, who knows? Anyway, hard to talk about music in the movies without referencing Elvis Presley, who made so many movies, most of them really bad, but this one, really great.
Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice and say it's very nice and then you run. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done. Well, I dated your big sister and I took her to a show. I went for some candy, along came Jim Dandy, and they snuck right out the door. Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice and say it's very nice and then you run. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done. Every time I see your sister, well, she's got somebody new. She's mean and she's evil like that little old Mo Evil. Guess I'll try my luck with you. Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice and say it's very nice and then you run. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done. Well, I used to pull your pigtails and pinch your turned up nose, but you've been growing and baby it's been showing from your head down to your toes. Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice and say it's very nice and then you run. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done. Little sister, don't you do what your big sister done.
Yeah, that was Elvis from the soundtrack of Kissing Cousins, where he played two roles, one with a brunette hairstyle and one with a blonde hairstyle. It was the 60s. You had to be there. I tell you who else was there in the 60s, a guy called Henry Mancini, really great film composer, always teetering on the edge of sleaze and cheese, but classy too. So this is Henry Mancini, and you'll know this one. It's the Pink Panther theme. Yeah, King Mob loved the Pink Panther. And around about the time that Peter Sellers was really getting going with those movies, late 60s, early 70s, Elvis Presley, back to Elvis again, was coming to the end of his career as a film actor, which, as I previously mentioned, was uneven, to say the best. But his last movie is a really strange piece of work, even by Elvis standards. It's called Change of Habit. And he falls in love with, he plays a doctor in inner city, late 60s, America, and falls in love with Mary Tyler Moore, but doesn't know that she is a nun in disguise, working with poor people. And at the end of the movie, usually the guy gets the girl, but they leave it wide open because you don't actually find out whether Mary Tyler Moore will leave being a nun and obviously live with the handsome Elvis, I would have thought, but maybe not. And maybe it was the other way, and she stayed and Elvis was depressed. Anyway, as his film career was finishing, his second comeback thing was really getting underway. He was in good form, and he'd done the TV special, and one of the tracks he recorded for Change of Habit is a song called Rubbernecking, and it's a great song anyway. And then a few years back, Paul Oakenfold did this remix. Elvis a genius. Processed beats, samples, and still he manages to sound like Elvis. 1969, while he's doing that, Robert Vaughan and David McCallum are appearing in the Man from U.N.C.L.E. TV series, original version, and they did a movie length episode, and they went to Hong Kong, and they met a bunch of Bruce Lee types and got into a big fight and sounded like this. Wow, what a wonderful Eastern ending. Same time as that was going on. So remember, there's an underwater chase going on. Spies are fighting Bruce Lee guys. It's 1968, 69, anything went. In Power Square in London, Mick Jagger was playing a retired rock star in a movie called Performance. And here's, I think it's one of the few songs that at that point he'd not really done any solo stuff. And this is with Ry Cooder, and it's produced by Jack Neach, who we heard from earlier. And this is a fantastic track. It's called Memo from Turner.
San Antone on a hot and dusty night. We were eating eggs and Sammy's when the black man there drew his knife. Oh, you drowned that Jew in Rampton as he washed his sleeveless shirt. You know, that Spanish-speaking gentleman, the one that we all call Kurt. Come now, gentlemen, I know there's some mistake. How forgetful I'm becoming now. You fix your business straight. remember you in Hemlock Road, 1956. You're a faggy little leather boy with a smaller piece of stick. You were lashing, smashing hunk of man. Your sweat shines sweet and strong. Your organ's working perfectly, but there's a part that's not screwed on. I want you at the Coke convention back in 1965. You're the next great executive I see heavily advertised. You're the great man whose daughter licks policeman's buttons clean. You're the man who squats behind the man who works the soft machine. Calm down, gentlemen, your love is all I crave. You'll still be in the circus when I'm laughing in my grave. When the old men do the fighting and the young men all look on, and the young girls eat their mother's meat from tubes of plastic corn. Be wary, please, my gentle friends, of all the skins you breathe. They have a tasty habit, they eat the hands that bleed. So remember who you say you are and keep your noses clean. Boys will be boys and play with toys, so be strong with your bees. Oh, Rosie dear, don't you think it's queer? So stop me if you please. The baby's dead, my lady said, you gentlemen, why you all work for me?
That was Mick Jagger singing from the set of Performance, which is an occult gangster movie. There aren't too many of those. It was directed by Donald Cammell and Nicholas Roeg. And if you get a chance to see it, take it. It's a wonderful movie. Now, we gave a little bit of dirt to Stanley Kubrick earlier, which is not fair, because Stanley was just an unbelievable master of cinema. And this is from one of his better movies, Lolita, and this is called Lolita Ya Ya. Lolita Ya. Sweet and tender. Moving right along. And Walt Disney. Walt was always big in the 60s. Dark movie theaters, people with torches, couples making out on the back seat, and then Disney movies. I got to be honest, I never really got it, and still don't, actually. But again, I don't like the movie Cars, but they did use this fantastic track by the Chords. Shaboom.
Life could be a dream, life could be a dream. Shaboom. Life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and open with me again, boom. Ding dong, ding dong, a lang, a lang, a lang. Oh, whoa, whoa, dip, a bip, a dip. Oh, life could be a dream. If only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you, life could be a dream, sweetheart.
Every time I look at you, something is on my mind. If you do what I want you to, baby, we'd be so fine.
Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we'll meet again. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we meet again. Boom, boom, boom. Ding dong, ding dong, a lang a lang a lang a lang a oh, bip, a bip, a oh, a dip. Oh, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Shaboom.
Shaboom, you're listening to King Mob at the Movies on Radio Lewes. And what's next? Oh, I know. We got to do with David Lynch, because David Lynch makes cool, crazy, creepy movies and also knows how to use music. And here's a track from the In Dreams soundtrack. I'm so sorry. I was thinking of the Roy Orbison song, which is in the film Blue Velvet, as is this track by Bill Doggett. And it's called Honky Tonk. Honky Tonk from the score of Blue Velvet. And I just realized we've been going, 40 odd minutes, and I haven't even discussed horror films. I love horror films, and here's a song from Halloween 2, and it's called Mr. Sandman.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him two lips like roses and clover. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Don't have nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him the word that I'm not a rover. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Don't have nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman,
Yes?
bring us a dream. Give him a pair of eyes with a come hither gleam. Give him a lonely heart like Pagliacci, and lots of wavy hair like Liberace. Mr. Sandman, someone to hold, would be so peachy before we're too old. So please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring us, please, 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 Mr. Sandman, bring us a dream.
Yeah, well, back in the 60s, movies were nice and short. They were like 90 minutes long. So to pad out the whole evening performance, you'd get like a cartoon and a movie tone news, and then like a short, like a 45-minute short. And the British film industry came up with a whole bunch of these shorts under the title Man of Mystery. And this was Edgar Wallace would tell you these stories, supposedly true life crimes, and then they'd show you a dramatization, and they were really boring. But the music wasn't. The title music was done by the Shadows, and here we go. Man of Mystery by The Shadows. And just in case I've given you the impression that Elvis was only involved in bad movies, that's not quite true. Early on in his career, he showed real promise, and they gave him good scripts and top directors, and this is King Creole.
King Creole.
There's a man in New Orleans who plays a rock and roll. He's a guitar man with a great big soul. He lays down a beat like a ton of coal. He goes by the name of King Creole. You know he's gone, 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 jumping like a catfish on a pole. Yeah. You know he's gone, 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 out of hip-shaking King Creole. King Creole. When the king starts to do it, it's as good as done. He holds his guitar like a Tommy gun. He starts to growl without in his throat. He bends a string and that's all she wrote. You know he's gone, 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 jumping like a catfish on the pole. You know he's gone, 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 out of hip-shaking King Creole. King Creole. He sings a song about a crawdad hole. He sings a song about a jelly roll. He sings a song about a pork and greens. He sings some blues about a New Orleans. You know he's gone, 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 jumping like a catfish on a pole. Yeah, you know he's gone, 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 and a hip-shaking King Creole. Something evil, then he plays something sweet. No matter how he plays, you gotta get up on your feet. And when he gets a rockin' fever, baby, heaven sinks. He don't stop playing till his guitar breaks. You know he's gone, 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 jumping like a catfish on the pole. Yeah, you know he's gone, 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 out of hip-shaking King Creole. Yeah, go. You know he's gone, 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 hip-shaking King Creole.
Yeah, jumping like a catfish on a pole, that's Elvis' best. We started off with little Tarantino music from a really underrated movie, Death Proof, starring Kurt Russell, who is an unbelievable actor. I'm a big fan of Kurt Russell, all his movies. Here's another cue from that film, Death Proof. This one's called Riot in Thunder Alley. Now that is a slice of King Mob movie-style music, loud, lurid, and luxurious. There's another kind of King Mob movie music, strange, and creepy. Here's Roy Orbison from the soundtrack of Blue Velvet.
A candy-colored clown they call the Sandman tiptoes to my room every night just to sprinkle stardust and to whisper, go to sleep, everything is all right. I close my eyes, then I drift away into the magic night. I softly say a silent prayer like dreamers do. Then I fall asleep to dream my dreams of you. In dreams I walk with you. In dreams I talk to you. In dreams you're mine all the time we're together. In dreams, but just before dawn, I awake and find you gone. I can't help it, I can't help it if I try. I remember that you said goodbye. It's too bad all these things can only happen in my dreams.
That was the Big O from the movie Blue Velvet. And hey, time's beaten King Mob once again, but thank you very much for listening. If you stayed this long and you got all these golden nuggets from the past, then good on you. I'm going to finish with Charade. Theme from Charade, movie starring Cary Grant, Audrey Hepburn. What else could you want? There's also a man with a hook instead of a hand, and he menaces her, but Cary Grant falls in love with her, and the music's by Henry Mancini, and hey, Charade.
Radio Lewes. Local community webcasting.